morning. Hello, everybody. It's Modesta Megan Buguni from Modesta.Africa. We're continuing our time. I'm here looking to go live on Instagram. Oh, nice. Hi, YouTube and Instagram. Today we're talking about writing compelling cover letters in times of crisis. Somebody yesterday said, in times of crisis, Modesta, don't you think, you're taking it a little too far? Not at all. I've got a light that's falling on me. Saved! Just when I'm talking about times of crisis. Saved! That was a quick move, no? All right, let's work this thing. So yesterday somebody said, Modesta, times of crisis, don't you think you're being a little dramatic? No, I do not think I'm being a little dramatic. As much as I don't like keeping pace with the news, but the world is going through a pandemic and many people in many regions are going through crisis. Unemployment is increasing by the millions every couple of weeks globally. And even for those that are maybe not unemployed, maybe let's say people who have their own businesses, well, they're restricted in movement. And so people are feeling the pinch financially, and people are feeling the pinch also, of course, being laid off, et cetera, because organizations are unable to continue in many areas. So this week's topic is really relevant to the times we're in. And yes, I don't know what other word to call the times we're in than a crisis. Of course, I am a person of faith, and I am a person who understands, having been in business for, going on to 2 decades now, that there will be ups and downs economically. That is to be expected. But it's not to deny what the downs are and what the ups are. And it's not to say I will not strategize, just simply this thing is passing. I'm not going to be an ostrich. Although I will also not be a fear monger to make you guys full of fear and to feel as if you're not, without doing this preparation, you won't survive. You will survive this thing, but I would like you to thrive rather than just survive. I would like you to really be masters of your own future right now. So if you've been laid off, if you feel threatened by that, if you don't have formal employment, or maybe you do, but they have no safeguards for you when you're not working, I think you'll find this week really relevant. So if this moves you, please stay on, tune in. Let's continue the conversation. Let's continue learning and growing together. But if this doesn't move you, you don't feel like, you need to beef up your profile, really tune up your CV and your cover letters, then you're good. Not, I'm here to support you and I'm here to walk with you. So, Modesta, why are your eyes going everywhere? Because I have 3 different devices. Facebook, you might have to calm down because I'm doing YouTube and Instagram here, but Facebook is all the way out there. So I'm doing a round thing. But welcome. Today is, what day is today? Wednesday. And we started this week of looking at how to position ourselves for times of crisis. We started this week with career planning. Welcome, Anthony Shemeyi. And who do we have here? We have Waga Map 30. Okay. We've got Asnat, the posh kitten. Meow. Lulu. Hey, Luz. Welcome. And I know we have 2 people on YouTube right now whom I can see, and I know other people come in as we go. So listen, guys, if you say hi and I don't acknowledge immediately, I'm going through the content, but I certainly will. If you stay to the end, you'll hear my shout out. Now, housekeeping, people, housekeeping for the week. If you haven't already, may I please ask you to subscribe to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube. Why are you doing this, Modesta? Is this your little way of getting something back, because we're coming out here, listening to you ish, but not really. I want to have the flexibility of being able to come to you, to share with you, to grow with you on the go. At the moment, I have 957 subscribers only on YouTube, which then means I can only broadcast on YouTube when I'm seated by a desktop rather. And so I would like to have the flexibility of being able to share anything I'm experiencing, seeing, lessons as we go, when I'm on my mobile phone. So I need to get to 1,000 subscribers to be able to do that. So it's really a practical thing. It's not I want to have a lot of people. I'm going to monetize. I'm not monetizing on YouTube at the moment. Know that it's not something in the future. But I need 1,000 subscribers so that I can do this wherever I am, and I don't have to be seated somewhere like this to be able to reach out to you. So if you haven't done that already, could you please go to YouTube right now? I'll wait for you and subscribe on Purposeful Excellence channel. We are what, 43 people away from getting 1,000 subscribers, and that'll free us up to have these conversations on the go. Thank you very much to everybody who is going to do that right now. Thank you very much to everybody that's already done that. So that was number one. Number two, I want to talk about the workshop that I have coming up this weekend. As I'd shared from day one, which was Monday when I was talking about career planning, when we're talking about these details of cover letters and CVs and negotiating at interviews, etc., I want you to understand it comes in the context of your wider life's purpose, wider life's plans, right? Who are you? Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are your career, professional goals? What are your financial goals, right? I mean, even as we're talking about diversifying income streams so that we do not get cornered by the crisis that we're in, that you're not just depending on your day job, that you could have several things, not get cornered by the crisis that we're in, that you're not just depending on your day job, that you could have several things that you're doing to bring in income. You also want to consider financial goals. So what exactly do I want to earn monthly? And not just a figure that you pick out of the air. You pick that from the fact that you have certain expenses, whether they are immediate or you foresee having these expenses. And so you want your income to be more than your expenses, right? So that you can also not just budget to pay the bills, you can budget your savings and investments and even planning for the future. And so when you're thinking about your career, when we're talking about the details of CVs and cover letters, and I'm looking out here because this is where my notes are. When you're looking at those details, you must understand it's not for the sake of just improving your CV and cover letter. It is in the context of a person who's planning their and their family's life, a person who's planning, who's thinking ahead so that they don't have a, what did I say, call it a knee-jerk reaction to opportunities, but you really take stock of opportunities that come to you because you have a plan for your professional progress, for your finances, you and those that depend on you, and your family as well. Maybe there are some family goals and there are milestones that you would like to reach. So when you are going out into the marketplace and you're presenting yourself the best way that you know how, the best way that you've learned how, right? It is in the context of being able to so position your personal brand, so position your business, so position your capacity and your experience that you're able to secure the kinds of engagements that align with your purpose, that align with your values, and that will compensate you in such a way that you will not just barely get by, but you will thrive. You will be comfortable. You will be dedicated. You will be committed to doing what you signed up for. Because, hey, people, we're over 18. You sign up for it, don't just grab any opportunity that comes your way because you feel desperate or, just jump on anybody else's agenda. Like I said, people have agendas. It is not necessarily to manipulate you, but such is life. People come in the context of the agenda that they have for their lives. And you must also know, before getting into a partnership, before signing on the dotted line for a job, whether it's your main job, it's a side hustle, you're moonlighting, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to know what your agenda is, what you expect to get out of this so that you can express your expectations, so that you can get feedback on whether those expectations can be met, where the two of you or whoever is involved can compromise, and whether you'd be comfortable to proceed. You don't have to take every opportunity that comes your way. But should you take it, you better have already planned. You better have already counted the cost and decided that you're going to proceed. If we have too many people who will disappear on a job, who will switch off their phones, who will skip a town, who will we do all kinds of unscrupulous things. Why? Because, oh my goodness, I didn't think it through. But now that I'm in the middle of this thing, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make financial sense for me. Or it's just not practical given where I live and where I'm going. This thing just doesn't work for me. Well, you should have thought about that before you signed up. Come on, let's do the adulting thing. So this is what all of this is about. And on Saturday, I have this workshop, Shock Proof your career and your income in times of crisis. You can go. Look at me taking my time. Why am I taking my time today? Because as soon as I disappear, like sometimes people's interest also disappears. I'm like, while I have you here, let me talk to you. You can go to purposeandlicense.africa/shock-proof, right? Or you can go to purposeandlicense.africa, and then on the menu, you'll see services and you'll see Shock Proof Your Career and Income. And in that workshop, I go into great detail. And I'm sharing all my templates, I'm sharing all my tools and resources with you on how you can plan rather than just arrive at an opportunity and start reacting. How you can plan your career, how you can plan your life and that of those that depend on you. So from planning who you are, where you want to go, what kind of opportunities you're open to. You will see on purposeandlicense.africa, Imelda Lutabinga. She's one of the people whose testimonials that I have on there. And she, you'll read as to how she was looking to position herself, not only in her organization, because she's already a director, she's a senior leader, but in the industry and in the market, for board leadership and in the region, Pan-African region, this is what I mean, in terms of leadership and having a presence and how we've been able to work. So to her, it wasn't just, hey, Modesta, I'm looking for another job. It wasn't about looking for another job. She remains where she has been, but she was still enhancing her profile for opportunities. And some of them are opportunities to serve, as you will see from her testimonial when you go to purposeandlicense.africa. Some of them are really to have networks that are outside of her country, which is Tanzania. And so when we work in this workshop on Saturday, it's really for you to think through, who are you, where are you going? And how you need to position yourself, your personal brand, and of course your documents, of course your CV and cover letter as we're going through, of course how you express, in negotiation and in job interviews, given the context, right, of who you are and where you want to go. Your plan for your career, your plan for your finances, your plans for your family, your plans for your brand. When people say your name and what kind of opportunities, what kind of doors you want that to open. And so going from planning to now creating your profile. And of course, we're talking about documents, we're talking about online. When people search your name, what comes up and whether that reinforces how you want to position yourself or it actually detracts, it pulls away from that. And, going all the way to packaging what it is you have to offer. Let's say you are looking for a new opportunity, or you want to diversify your offerings and you want to have several income streams. How then do you package what your target audience, being clear about who you're actually speaking to? How do you package what your target audience would be interested in, would see is an absolute must-have, that they have a specific problem and you came like a solution, from the heavens, and would be willing to pay for at the price point you need them to pay, right? So we're also going to go as far as packaging, whether it is yourself and you're looking for new opportunities, or you're going to create certain products, whether you're writing books, I see you, Caroline, or you're you're going to start speaking, or you're going to start giving certain services online, or people can outsource some of their business processes to you. How then do you articulate who you are, what you have to offer in a way that your target audience would find resonates with them, and in a way that would be easy to understand and access, that would be easy to engage with and pay for? Because many a times just reaching you is a whole process. The number you gave is not the number you're reachable on. The email you gave, you only check now and then. You actually have another email that you use. And then maybe we get you on that number, but then that number, somebody answers, maybe you can't speak English and the role requires you to speak English. And honestly, at this point, guys, one of the reasons people have been asking me, I digress, but I'm coming back. We're talking about writing compelling cover letters today. One of the things that people ask me is, but so why aren't you speaking Swahili? Because you can speak Swahili very well, and I can't speak Swahili fluently. But in this world, we're talking about being globally competitive. Not everybody speaks Swahili. More of Africa will, which is a bonus to us. Yay! But the rest of the world does not. And so let's get practicing on our English as well. So let's say somebody gets through on your phone and somebody doesn't speak English, you mention your name, they can't communicate. We don't want that. You want to so communicate who you are, package what you have to offer, and people, be able to so entice people that they can easily find you, they can easily pay for your services, for your products, and absolutely enjoy relating with your personal brand. And so if you want to not just show up and not just respond to opportunities that come by, as if you're a man or a woman that has absolutely no plan and foresight for your life, this workshop is for you. I don't make it too long, but it will be 3 hours so that we can be thorough. But you go from planning your career to designing your profile, CV, cover letters, online profile on platforms, how you communicate on social media, etc., to packaging offers that you can take out, whether it is actual products. I don't know, I've got my university book, actual products that you take out there. Oh, I've got my own book, right? Actual products that you're delivering or services that people can access them. So go to purposeandexcellence.africa/shock-proof. We're talking about shock proofing your career and your income so that you can consistently earn and you can consistently still be engaged. We will still earn. As a matter of fact, thank you, coronavirus. People now get more time to reflect on who they are, where they want to go. They're getting more time to think through how much they want to earn, what kind of lifestyle they want for their family. They're thinking through how great they have actually been. They just haven't packaged themselves as such and are about to get out of this thing on the other side a whole lot better than when you showed up. Thank you, coronavirus. You didn't see that coming, did you? Moving on. So today we're talking about writing compelling cover letters. People, have you been enjoying the past 2 days? Please send me a heart. Give me some love and tell me if the past 2 days have been speaking to you. We started out with your career plans, and I know I had some templates, I had some formats, and people have been asking for them. You'll get them on Saturday if you're going to subscribe, join, register for the workshop on how to shock-proof your career and your income. And then yesterday we went into depth, guys. It was an hour and 20 minutes. Mea culpa. That was way over time, where we spoke about writing competitive CVs. If you haven't seen that already, please do go back to YouTube and watch that. Speaking of which, from tomorrow, I will only be broadcasting on YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube, you might miss out on tomorrow. Please not only subscribe, also turn on the notification so that it can alert you wherever you are that Modesta is on and she's continuing talking about how to plan for your career. Tomorrow, we're talking about what you must not leave out during job interviews. And remember, when I talk about job interviews, I'm not just talking about a person who's seeking employment. As a consultant, I get interviewed. As an individual, I get interviewed. Even when I represented companies, we would still get interviewed. We still have to speak. People, you don't just throw your company profile at people. They still want to have a conversation. So they will still vet you. They will vet your CV, they will vet your cover letter, they will vet your profile, they will speak even to your entire team. Everybody that's going to be involved, engaged in that area will be, will be asked questions and will be vetted. So this isn't just to talk about people looking for a job. This is for anybody who's going to be in any position where other people are considering them for an opportunity. This could even be nonprofit. This could be ministry. Hello, Pastor Winnie, welcome. It could be ministry. So, what we're talking about this week is relevant to everybody anywhere. Whether it is seeking employment, whether you're an entrepreneur and you're positioning your business and your products and services, whether you're a nonprofit and you're engaging with the world around you, whether you're seeking partnerships, whether it is funding, whether it is speaking to stakeholders in the ecosystem that you're operating in, you will go through the process of thinking through your plan, why you're engaging, how best to arrange and present your capacity, your skills, your experience, especially relating to the vacancy, the opportunity, and how you present yourself when you're speaking. Thank you, Remy. When you're speaking, at interviews and these meetups, and when it comes now down to negotiating. When you're negotiating, whether it is, terms, financial terms, or you're negotiating, resource allocation, whatever it is key for you to learn these things. And so from tomorrow, my people, I am only on YouTube. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you do not miss what is really key for you to express during interviews, including job opportunity interviews. Let's call them engagement interviews. And the day after is actually when you're negotiating now. How to negotiate well, because this is where other people get nabbed. You negotiate something you're not comfortable with, and all of a sudden you start acting up. And listen, let me let you know, and I'm sorry for all the employees out there. I am teaching your people the trade secrets, but they need to know. You are not going to get an increment that is going to be twice, 3 times, that is going to leapfrog your pay. Right? It is not going to grow exponentially. It's going to be some percentage after taking into consideration inflation. If you do not negotiate well at the very beginning, don't expect those annual incomes to be anything worth moving, unless, of course, you're getting a promotion, and with promotion comes a different package. But if you're going to stay in the position for which you signed up, annually, you're not going to see a great leap, unless you're working for an organization or an individual that really is doing something out of the norm. So you need to negotiate right from the start. All right. Thank you for your time. Cover letters, right? So you are applying for an opportunity. Yesterday, we talked about writing competitive CVs, and I was thorough, like really went into that. Go to Personal Excellence on YouTube for you to watch that. I mean, have notes and everything, coffee, juice, whatever you need. Today, we're talking about cover letters. Why did I do it backwards? Because a cover letter will take from your CV. Even if often the cover letter will be the first document that recruiters, that organizations, that, the organizations that are looking for people, that are looking for expertise will look at. Your cover letter will be looked at first, and then they will look at your CV. So often on your cover letter, you'll make reference to your CV. But I wanted us to go through the CV first because a cover letter extracts from your CV and expands on it. But here's the trick. Your cover letter is only going to be 1 page. So every single word you write on that cover letter has to count. We're not writing 2-page cover letters, people. We're not writing reports. We are writing a 1-pager that is concise, that is, what is the word? Swahili words are coming to me. Let me look for an English word. That is complete as well. So you will build a complete picture. If your cover letter is separated from your CV, people should capture from your cover letter what expertise you have, what experience you've done, and with what results, where else you worked, and and the experience they've had of you. They will get your technical skills from your cover letter. They'll be able to see your people and management and leadership skills. They will get an understanding of why you think you are a great fit for that organization, and what particular about that role in that organization and possibly that industry has moved you, your reasons for reaching out to them. So it'll show that you've done more research than just read the job vacancy, than read the job description. It will capture everything. in possibly 3, maximum 4 paragraphs, and only 1 page. So you're not going to write size 8 font print just so that you can fit in a lot. No, it's going to be size 11, 12. Then it's not going to be that long, but it'll be really concise, really compelling, and absolutely complete. Should it be separated from your CV, people can get a very good picture of who you are, and why you'd be a great fit, a great consideration for that role. All right, so on your cover letter, you start with your address, right? So your full name, please guys, no spelling mistakes. I've seen people who put spelling mistakes on their own names. Their own names. They have a different name on the cover letter, a different name on the CV, or a different name on their email, and a different name. And I don't mean different as in a completely different name. So to understand people, I don't know why people do this. People will change their names. Like I also have a name Lillian. I also have a name Mikwile. That's like my Hehe African Tanzanian name. So some people will have different. God bless you guys. Can you just keep your name, your first name officially, the surname officially, and you can just go by those two. But sometimes people will actually have typos. If you're going to have a typo on your own first name, which your parents have been calling you since before you understood a thing, then I can't. I don't know. Okay, I'm not here. I started too early today. Didn't I start too early today? No, let me backtrack. No, the thing, then I can't. I don't know. Okay, I'm not here. I started too early today. Didn't I start too early today? No, let me backtrack. No. So you're going to make sure you've written out your full name well, no typos, no spelling mistakes. The name that's on your CV is the name on your cover letter, is the name on your email, people, right? You're going to have your email address. And like I said yesterday, let's have something professional. Let's not have, I was about to say something. Clearly, guys, I still need to be sanctified. I was about to say something funny, but let's not have little like Pussycat 27 or Hot Boy 99 at Yahoo. No, we're gonna have a decent thing. You either have your first name and your surname, or your initial and your surname, or your first name and your initial as a surname. Something very simple, very professional, dignified, that you will not be embarrassed about anywhere. Name, email, number. Like I said yesterday, please put your country code. Not everybody considering you is from your context. So you want to put plus, I would say 255, and then you've got the digits of your mobile number. The number that people can reach you 24/7. If you have applied, I reiterate, if you have applied for something outside of your country, do not get scared. I don't know why people, lose it. When you get a call from a number that starts with plus something you don't know, you applied. Or that starts with plus something you don't know, you applied for plus something, outside the country. So you will be contacted from outside the country. Don't make people leave you messages. Don't make people follow up with emails. In this time of crisis, there are a lot of people who are losing their jobs, a lot of people applying for opportunities, and therefore recruiters are inundated, completely flooded with many, many applications. Many of them don't even fit the profile. Don't give them the added work of trying to find you. Please have everything ready so that they can reach you. And then you will have the date, of course, when you're writing that cover letter. Now I understand sometimes you just write an email as a cover letter rather than attach a cover letter. And so obviously the email goes out with the date and the time when you sent it. But if you're writing, on a word processor, which is what I would recommend, even if you're going to put it on email, write it down. So you have your name, your email, your number, the address, the date, and then you'd have the name, if you have a name of the person you're addressing the letter to. So many a times how you're going to apply for this opportunity, they may have the name of the person, or at least the title. And so you would write down, if you have a name and their title, so Mr., Dr., whatever, have their title, which is recruitment manager or executive director, which it seldom is. You're seldom writing directly to senior management. And then you would put the department, the organization, their address. If this is some of them, some of the vacancies are very prescriptive of how you address your communication. So write down everything there, and then you can then address, the salutation. So, dear Mr., the surname, or Ms., if you don't know if it's a Mrs. or a Miss. So Ms. is safest, MS, rather than MISS, saying, assuming that you're not married. And usually the assumption is you're young. And Mrs., assuming you're married. You don't want to make any assumptions. Some people can be sensitive about certain things. So Ms. might be a safe place in between Mrs. and Miss. And, the surname, you don't have to put their entire name, comma, and then you would have the reference line. So REF, colon, what is it? Application for, you put the name of the position. Please, guys, read the name of the position and write down the name of the position. Like, don't write some random thing that is not it. If there is a specific title of a position, that's the title you put on. Sometimes we overlook things. It gets so infuriating. And, Harris Capiga yesterday just wrote a comment like, you guys should ask me. I worked with Modesta. You dare put, like small caps where there should be capital letter. And I know he made it funny, but guys, like, he was not joking. Let's be serious. So you put the title of that vacancy. Kile, I see you. I missed you. Hi, my brother. I got to move on. So dear, salutation, right? Dear, and then the title, and the surname, comma, and then reference, right? REF, colon, application for blah, blah, blah position. The first paragraph, guys. Remember how yesterday, for those that were there, if you're not there, please go to YouTube, go to Purpose and Excellence, and look at the video on how to create a competitive CV in times of crisis. Guys, 10 seconds is all you've got with your cover letter. You're like, here too? Yes. And remember, your cover letter is the first document people see before your CV. 10 seconds is all you have to work with. And so that first sentence and that first paragraph, which usually has no more than 3 sentences, must pack a punch. You must convince in that first paragraph that they should continue reading. 10 seconds is all you have before somebody dismisses your cover letter, which means your CV will not even stand the time of day. So what do you put in the first paragraph of your cover letter? You're going to write why you're writing. No need to say, dear so-and-so, my name is so-and-so, I am so-and-so years old, I come from so-and-so city in so-and-so country. No. You don't mention your name, because in your closing and your signature, your name is down there, and you probably have your name on your address up there as well. So no, we're not introducing ourselves anymore. No name, no country, city, no age. Nobody's interested really. They will figure out your age along the way. Some people put their age on their CVs. It's not really material. At this point, employers are even dissuaded from discriminating upwards, right? If somebody is too old, you really need to come up with a strong decision why not to engage them. And of course, just bringing up age is discrimination. And so you don't really, have to put your age. So you're going to write why you are writing. And of course, you're writing in response to this vacancy that's been advertised. Or if there wasn't anything that was advertised, and this is unsolicited, which means you just decided to approach this organization and these people and, offer your services, and you can say, I am writing, to apply to engage with your firm in the capacity of, and you can generally speak of, because you don't have the title, right? But you can talk about your profession. So think about your professional title. So if I'm going to say human capital consultant, I'm just going generally, in a position. If you're saying a software engineer, you can put something like that there, because you may not have a very specific role that you're applying for. And then you're going to mention your experience. So you will say, guys, if you say, Modesta, give us a template, ha ha ha, sign up for the workshop on Saturday. That's where you'll also get templates for these things, where you honestly just put in the information that you need, that you've taken from the vacancy, from the job description. But the rest is a simple template that you can use and interchange for different applications. Right, moving along. So you've written why you're writing. It's an application for this vacancy. You've gotten the title of the vacancy right. Promise me. Then you mention your experience. It's good to say, I have blah, blah, blah years experience in, and you mention again that title or that area so that people can see from the very beginning, this person is suitable for this role and they have the number of years of experience or maybe even more of what we need. So it's good to mention, I'm applying for this role and I am qualified for this role. And that's why I'm applying. You will also mention, I have written 3 to 4 relevant areas. So you will look at that job description, guys. Let's read these things very, very carefully. You will read the lines of the responsibilities of that person. You will read the duties of that person. What the position requires. You will read what they say are must-haves, right? And the nice-to-haves. But you want to focus on the responsibilities. You want to focus on the experience. You want to focus any area where they mention certain technical expertise, licensing, certification, experience with certain tools and software. You want to take note of that, so that when it comes to explaining that you have and you mention, areas that you are highly skilled at because you extracted it from the job description, you're already saying in the first paragraph, I'm your person, I'm your lady, I'm your gal, I'm your dude, I'm your guy, right? From the very first paragraph, so that they're not looking for it. And then after stating so boldly that I am highly skilled at the things that you're looking for, because you're responding to a specific vacancy, specific areas that you saw them picking out as really critical, you're responding to them. Then you're going to, what did I write this? Yeah, that always put it in context. And it's, moving forward, you're going to show even measurable areas. So what you're able to save, what you're able to earn, what you're able to increase, what you're able to decrease, and benefited other organizations, that benefited other roles. So you've boldly stated why you are writing, your experience, that you have experience in this area. You've mentioned the number of years experience, and you've mentioned that you're highly skilled at the very areas that job vacancy is asking for. If there isn't a vacancy, now listen to this. If there isn't a vacancy, not because it actually exists and you didn't ask for it. When somebody comes to you and says, hey, guess what? I was talking to people about you. They want to see your CV. They want to consider you for a position. Don't just get excited that people want to consider you for a position. Ask, oh, nice. Could you please share something with me to consider? Because you don't just want to send any old cover letter, any old CV. Sure that you understand what they require of you so that you can tailor your cover letter and your CV to that. So don't be just so quick to be so happy that there is an opportunity there for you. Ask. Make sure you understand what it is that's required of you. But if there really truly isn't a job description, there isn't a vacancy, you're really just applying for something out of the blue, or they've just asked you to send something in, we don't really have something right now, but we know you're a person that does really well. Maybe they've done business with you. Maybe they've heard of your praises from other people that have done, that have engaged you in the past. Sometimes people will say, hey, look, we're considering building up a management team. We're considering building up this department. Could you think of some people, that says, hey, I've got a couple of people, so and so in particular, let me ask them to send in their CV. So sometimes there isn't something particular. So then in that situation, you would say that you're highly skilled at the things that relate to that area, at least to that department, right? Or at least what you would be interested in doing for that organization. That is key. This is mutual. This has to be symbiotic. This has to be, a give and take. You have as much power as the employer, as much power as the organization. Oh, sorry, my Facebook limit. You have as much power as the employer, as much power as the organization that wants to engage your consulting services or wants to engage your business, if it's a B2B context, business to business engagement. Never just throw yourself out there and cower away. Oh, I can't ask too much. I can't seem too, forthright. You better do that, because once you sign on the dotted line, you're hooked. And there's some things that are grave legal and financial consequences to get out of prematurely. So ask so that you can position yourself the best. I was just talking to my husband earlier, and I was saying, there is nothing we do in life just to try. Nobody's trying this thing. This thing is real. This thing will chew you up and spit you out and use you as a toothpick. If you're going to do anything in life, you're doing it. If you're going to apply for anything, you're giving your all. You're not just going to try and see. You're not going to go and cower. No, no, no. And the way you come in is the way people will esteem you. You need to show up. When you show up, you show up. When you do, you do. You mean it. You don't try it. We don't try life. Life will try you back and find you wanting. So you will then say, I'm highly skilled at. If you don't have the vacancies to be able to pull from the job description, right, from the vacancy requirements, you can think of what that department that you're interested in, that organization that you're interested in does. Then you can proffer. You can say, these are the skills that I have. I'm highly skilled at this, and I know you need it. And so this is why, I apply. And then you also mention not just the technical areas, right? Because you're applying for a specific area that needs your skill set, monitoring and evaluation. It could be financial analysis. Maybe it is fundraising, whatever it is. You also want to show that you can work in community. You can work in a team, that you're good at working on your own, but you don't leave it at that, because then what? You're a loner and you're full of yourself and you can't handle being around other people of different, of diversity and different skill sets and thoughts. No, you want to show that you're a team player as well. So it's also key, I would say, to include a sentence, a strong, punchy sentence of your people leadership management skills, your management and people aptitude, so that they can then see not only are you really great at what you do, but you would fit in very well in a context where people come from different backgrounds, maybe different technical backgrounds, different faiths, different ethnicities, just different genders, differences, that you're able to work in that context. So another sentence saying that would be brilliant. The next paragraph now, guys, remember your cover letter is only going to be one page. The next paragraph now will look at why you would be a great fit, your reasons why you think you'd be a great fit for this role that you're applying for. Or if there isn't a specific role, why you think you'd be a great fit to work in that department or that organization. And here you're required to do a little bit more research than just talk about me and mine and how great I am. Do research about that organization and even the industry. Do research about this very job description, this very role that you're going to play, what it will require. If you have a way of contacting, and now there's a thin line. You don't want to contact people on the inside to look as if you want to have one up, have a leg up on everybody else who's applying, and you want the inside scoop. But where possible, you can find out a little bit more about the culture, about the organization, about maybe some things were published. It was public that they went through maybe a shaking, they've come out on top, maybe they've won some awards, or maybe what they're using has now become industry best practice. It's good to show research that, hey, I've done my research of the industry, of the organization in its context. I know it has branches, or I know it has a presence in several countries. And this role is really critical to delivery. Now, you're not going to go into all of that. You're doing that research. These are things I want you to consider. But you will frame your cover letter in such a way that I would be a great fit because, and you can mention your qualifications, you can mention your education and certification. You can mention where you had similar roles in other organizations. So mention organization, especially if these are respected organizations in your market, and you did very well for them. So you can say, I would be a great fit for this because, in my role as such and such for this and this organization, I was able, now you bring in the measures. Now you bring in, I was able to, I found the organization here, I took it there. We were faced with this challenge and I led my team towards getting these results. Not too much I as well, right? You need to also show I shone, like shining, shone. But, I'm also a leader, I'm a people's person, and I did it in a context. There's a thin line there. Too much we sounds as if you don't stand out at all, that you cannot take on responsibility and complexity on your own. But too much I sounds like you're trying to be a superstar and you might sideline everybody else to get to where you want to get. So there's a balance between the I and the we when you're communicating about your experience. But please, err on the side of really shining rather than being very humble and just let me just not do it now, maybe when they interview me they'll find out more about me. No, do not, because you may not get called for that interview. So you want to make sure that your cover letter, should they not even read your CV to see what you've done and all the accolades that you have, that your cover letter will really paint a good picture. So when you're stating in that second paragraph the reasons for why, they are the reasons for why. Look at me. This probably translated straight from Swahili. That thing came from somewhere in me. The reasons why they should take you on, you're going to mention what you have done elsewhere in a similar role and with what outcome, with what results. So measurable, something that is qualitative or quantitative, that you can show that you made a difference there. And what does that say? Remember from yesterday? When people are looking for candidates to see whether they would have the competencies, the knowledge, the skills, the attitudes that they're looking for this role, they're going to look to your past. They're going to see whether you have ever done something similar elsewhere. They're going to see whether you did it recently, which means it's still in you. And they're going to also look at how frequently you did it, because then it's built as a habit. And so it'll come second nature for you. Those good habits, that the great competencies that they're looking for you to exhibit here, if you can show that you did it elsewhere, they build trust and they're more likely to consider that you will then do it here. Because here's the thing. People will say anything at job interviews. People will say anything to get an opportunity. Right? I mean, ask me, can I do that? I'll say yes. Yes, I can do that. Even if after I finish saying yes to you, I'll go find out about it. Let me tell you this, as consultants, we say yes to a bunch of things that we may have, maybe 50, sometimes 40% experience in, but we can, make up the rest. We can learn the rest and still be able to deliver. So I'm not saying cheat, pretend you can do something you can't. No, we're not that. We're men and women of purpose here. But I do want you to understand that you could get yourself in and recruiters know this, that many times people say yes, I can do that, yes, given the opportunity. No. Nobody's asking you. Thank you so much, Louis Arts. Nobody's asking you, if given the opportunity, would you do this? Because yes, you will say you will do this. Instead, people want to know you have done it before. They want to know they can call somebody, they can check somewhere that you've already done this before, because nobody wants you to experiment on their time. Nobody wants you to come out here and start learning on their time and on their pay. Do all your learning where you came from and hit the ground running and deliver. And so what is going to speak that in your cover letter is when you can make references to where you had been able to before. Exhibit the competencies that they require you to show in this vacancy. Or if it's not a vacancy, there isn't a formal solicitation for applications, but you are just, sending in an application that is required at that organization. And then after you have done that, so you've mentioned how well suited you are for this role, and you can then mention that you understand the conversation comes in. Now listen, don't be pulling out their dirt. Don't be like, I know you are struggling. Actually, you're rate, company number 77 in this industry. You need somebody like me. Please, people, let's have wisdom, right? So yes, you can mention some of the background information, of the organization and the industry. And even if it is something challenging and you see that, they wouldn't, you would come and add value to help them transition through something. Don't be poking at fingers. I mean, don't be like, you have such a problem, like you're going to be blessed if I show up in your organization. So let's have wisdom and not shoot ourselves in the foot and miss out on opportunities. But it is nice when people can see that you've done your research. You're not just looking at the job description and answering the job description. You understand the industry context. You understand this organization, where it's been. And so many organizations print out their annual plans. They have them on their websites. They have reports. They have news about them. Guys, a simple Google, a simple search on an organization will give you so much information that you can selectively include in your cover letter to show wider understanding and appreciation of the context in which this position exists. This stuff is good, guys. Now I'm just going to say it myself. This is some good stuff I'm sharing out here. I really want you guys to succeed. Like, I just had to pause and just say that. I want you guys to succeed. But again, we only have one page, right? So even if you're doing all this research and you want to show context, you're not going to write a whole paragraph of that you've done on that organization. You will have to really have the art of writing a cover letter to make sure just this one page, which includes my address and their address and the salutation and the goodbyes and everything, that one page captures everything about you to give them no doubt that you're a top candidate for this position, even if they don't get to see your entire chronology and everything you've done and excelled at on your CV. Then you're going to reiterate your interest. We're now going into the third paragraph, and this is basically the last paragraph. Express again why you're interested in this role, why you are suitable, and what do I write here? And link it to service. Thank you. This is so insightful. I'm learning a lot of valuable lessons. Thank you, Chapter, for that feedback. So your last paragraph is to reiterate why you're interested, why you are suitable, and what meaningful contribution you're going to make. So now I want to say this at this juncture. Just as yesterday, I asked you to remove your CV objective and replace it with your CV profile, because your objective is really about me. I am this person with this experience in these areas. I am going this place in my life. Therefore, on my way to this place, I just thought I could come out here and chill with you guys for a while and give you my greatness in exchange for something. So objectives are really about me and my objectives, my career and my life. You guys are doing it, and therefore you would be a great fit for me. So I want you to turn it around, even if it is about you, and you know it's about you because you did your career planning, right? You're only applying for opportunities that align with your purpose and align with your professional, financial, and family goals anyway, right? No, instead, in this paragraph, after reiterating your interest, your suitability for this role, you're going to show how you would add value to that organization. And here as well, you get to share some of those market insights that you have about the industry, about the organization, and even about the role. And if you can also get an appreciation of how that role engages with all the other roles that surround it. Now, you don't have to think of all, but just if you can contextualize. So I'm going to use HR, right? And if I can contextualize how the role of an HR officer or manager, HR personnel in an organization, then that really adds value for them to see you not only appreciate what this requires of you, but you understand how it fits into the larger organization and that organization in its industry. I have a comment here. And nowadays, cover letters and CVs are analyzed electronically. That's right. The system picks up keywords only, and they give it a percentage to see if you qualify or not. Kathy, that is so true. When I wrote out that the invitation for the cover letter. I was talking about ATS, applicant tracking systems. It is just systems. It is artificial intelligence. It is algorithms. They're just picking up certain keywords that are related, which is why I say, and I'll continue reiterating, Kathy, so much for this comment. Please read the job description. Please read the vacancy requirements and use that to craft your CV and your cover letter so that they can see. And of course, you're not parroting, you're not mimicking, you're not just saying what they said back. Have a bit of tact. But so that they can catch the keywords, especially when you're mentioning certifications that they're looking for, you're mentioning titles that are similar to titles that they have mentioned. These systems, they pick this up and are able to see how relevant you are to what they're looking for. Relevance is key. Like I said yesterday, no matter how good your experience has been in so many different areas, you were shining and whatever you were. You need to only put down the experience that is relevant to what you're applying for. So there are times I'm not putting my board leadership, and I've served on several boards, and I still do. I'm not putting down my board. They're not asking, they're not interested in what I did on boards. But maybe I might pull out something I did, maybe in leadership, or maybe it's something to do with analysis, maybe something to do with oversight in that capacity. But I'm not going to mention I was also a board leader. I'm not going to mention, things I'm doing in ministry, to build the kingdom of God. I'm not going to mention, I may change up, and I have several CVs. Why? Because when these systems are looking, when the applicant tracking systems, or when recruiters are looking at your applications, your CV and your cover letters, they're looking for relevance to the role. Somebody looked for me on LinkedIn. Last week or this week, and said, Modesta, would it be okay? I've seen 2 roles in an organization that I feel suitable for, but one of them is a junior role. Would it come out funny for me if I'm applying for both? But because I know that organization is a huge global organization, that just entering there is going to be a learning curve for anybody, no matter how seasoned they are in other industries, it is still worth applying. But what I did say to them is, please make sure, though, you don't send the same documents, the same cover letter, the same CV for both positions, even if they're similar, even if they're in the same department. Read, please, what it's asking for, and speak in your cover letter and your CV back so that they can see those keywords that Kathy was just talking about right now, the keywords, the detail that they're looking for. They're not just asking for generally for a professional in that area. They don't just generally want to know that you're good at what you do. They want to know that you have what it takes for this role that you're applying for. And then, of course, after that, what is your call to action? Sometimes people just leave it kind of like, okay, I've applied. No. Oh, wow. Instagram is saying bye, but let's do this as quickly as we can. What is your call to action? Seek to connect and say, I often say I would be, grateful to have an opportunity to speak with a member of their team. I never assume that the person I'm addressing is a person that's necessarily going to see me. So the humble thing to do, the wise thing to do is to say, you look forward to having an opportunity with a member of their team to discuss further, your suitability for the role and the value that you can bring to the organization, because you really are interested, and that given what you've done before, that there's a place for you to move with this organization. If you get to know their values and you see that it's an organization that really pulls them forward, you can also mention that you share these values and you would like to work in an environment that also espouses the same. Make sure you have a call to action. Make sure you reiterate your phone number, your email, your availability. So I might say, I am available at the earliest convenience, or, I'm also reachable. Let's say I've sent this cover letter or this application email. I'm also reachable on this number. And, you thank them for their time. You thank them for consideration. You write, kind regards. People still write, yours sincerely, but kind regards right now has been taken to be, the standard. You write your name, You can sign, of course, if you'd like to. It's really not a must. You write your name, unless they ask you to, right? And you send it through. Please, grammar spell check. That goes without saying, guys, right? You do your grammar and your spell check, and you send it in one impactful page, completely relevant to the role that you're applying for, and that really captures all your strengths so that it leaves no doubt you're the top candidate for this role. Instagram is going, but I'm coming back. All right, let me just get back to Instagram real quick, guys. So I am done on cover letters for today. Let me capture this. No, 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 Modesta. Too much, too much, oh, too much. Guys, one second. I have, because I'm doing videos, daily. Oh, Instagram and Facebook times out. All right, Facebook, I got you. I'm with you. You see, this is why I'm going to stick to YouTube. YouTube goes on and on and on. Instagram, I'm back. Facebook, I'm back. We're done on cover letters for today. So this is what I'd like to say again, a little bit of housekeeping. Please do subscribe to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube, because from tomorrow, I am only going to broadcast on YouTube. I have no interruptions there. Things are nice and rosy on YouTube. So subscribe to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube and turn on notifications so it tells you when I am on. And besides this week where I'm on every single day, I won't always do Facebook and Instagram lives, but I will do a lot of things on YouTube, whether I'm on live or I will post videos. So if any of what I've been sharing over the years resonates with you, you do want to be part of that community, please do subscribe, share them. And actually, that's another place where you can share. You just get the link and share it on WhatsApp, share it on other platforms, share it with your family, friends, your school groups, your church groups, your mosque groups. So what will happen to my job, not only as a response to coronavirus, but just in the times we're in, it is prudent for us to have diversified incomes, not just the job that I have, but do other things as well. And it's actually more accepted than before that people have more than one thing. Just do not bring your side hustles into my time at work. Don't use my time, don't use my resources. Employers, will be very clear with that. But nobody is, will be shocked, especially where there is no conflict of interest, to know that there are things you do after work, there are things you do over the weekend. I was speaking to somebody yesterday. When people look for her, she then goes and has conversations with them. And in that conversation, she gives away all her good stuff. She doesn't have a net, is another way that I call it, a net to catch all those opportunities and monetize them. So she's having these conversations, and sometimes that's all somebody needs from you. They just need a conversation and bye, thank you, and they're going to run with the thing. But for people such as me, and I'm seeing Miss Noma here. Hey, Miss Noma, there's some people, speaking is what I do for a living. When I speak, when I coach, when I consult, that's my bread and butter. So when you say, can I just pick your brain? Can I just have 5 minutes of your time? Can you read how I earn, right? And so if you're also wondering, how do I package myself when I just show up just as me? Maybe I'm not coming up with a business, and maybe it's not formalized. I'm freelancing, I'm moonlighting, I'm side hustling. How then do I package myself for people to take me seriously, for people to know that I am present, that I have the solution to their challenge, that they can easily access me. They can look through my brochure, my profile, my offer, my package to see, what I have to offer, that they can then easily, quickly, painlessly pay and receive the service, receive the product. If you also want to learn how to do that, I am hosting a workshop on Saturday just for that. From your planning to your personal branding and profiling and packaging what you have so you can monetize and take it to market and stop missing all these opportunities. Have that net to catch every opportunity, every fish that comes your way that you can pull up and benefit from. If you're interested in that, please register for the workshop on how to shock-proof your career and your income in times of crisis. So go to purposeandexcellence.africa and you will see on menu, of service, on the menu, services, and you'll see shock-proof your career and income, or you can just go to purposeandexcellence.africa/shock-proof. And you can also, when you get right on Purpose and Excellence Africa, you will read testimonials. And I'm going to get two more on there of people that I've worked with, significant, high-profile people that I've worked with, that are able to see differences, that are able to have greater clarity and positioning and pivoting of their profiles and of their products, of their services, of their organizations, and completely transform their impact and their influence and their income where they are. If that sounds like something that would move you guys, this workshop is $49.99. It is let me use the right word. It gives you the greatest value for what you get in return. I was going to say the cheapest. We don't say cheap, right? No, it is not cheap. It has come at a cost for me to package it and deliver it. It is of great value. To get that, package it and deliver it, it is of great value. To get that kind of service, I mean, the master plan class is what, 12, 13 times that fee? And that is a group, program that I have. And executive coaching, well, let's not even go there. So if you want to position yourself differently, you want to apply and know that you're going to be considered, you're going to be shortlisted. You want to not just jump at any opportunity, but really design, craft, and be on the leading end of where you're taking your career, where you're taking your influence, your impact, your business, then this workshop is for you. So register on purposeandexcellence.africa/shock-proof, or you can just go to purposeandexcellence.africa, and right on the homepage, you'll see services, and you can scroll down to shock-proof your career and income. I love this week with you guys. I'm enjoying it. I pray it's been of value to you too. Tomorrow, we're talking about job interviews, what not to leave. So many people have shown up this week. Please let everybody know Modesta is only on YouTube tomorrow. So subscribe to Purpose and Excellence on YouTube and turn on notifications so that it alerts you when I come on. It is still going to be at 7 p.m. East African time. I love you guys and I'm grateful. And please share this. Why do I keep myself to the African community, both on the continent and in the diaspora? Because we need this the most, I'm sorry to say. But also the great wealth, the great opportunities, and the way that Africa is currently positioning, this continent is going to lead the world's economy. But do you guys know that Africa can develop without Africans developing? It's happened before, right? Africa has benefited the rest of the world. So it is time now that we position so that we can get into positions, a strategic position of influence and leadership and decision-making over Africa, and also, add our voices to global decisions that are being made that also come to affect Africa. This is why I exist and I'm doing what I'm doing, which is why you need to share. I have a few people that I have access to. By sharing, more people will benefit from this. Do share this content. Share Purpose and Excellence YouTube. Share these videos so that other people can benefit as well. I won't work with everybody individually, but these videos and the blog posts and the articles and the books, they will reach a whole lot more people. Speaking of books, this is the book that I've been working with all week. 32 Steps, Career Success and the Life of Significance. I wrote this almost 5 years ago. It remains extremely relevant today. So you can go to Amazon.com and you will see, when you Google my name, Modesta in Google. These people need to pay me. I keep mentioning them. Search Modesta Mahiga Muguni and you will see all the books that I've written. This book you can get both as a print copy and as an ebook. And remember, you don't have to have a Kindle device. These days, you just get the app. God, we're so grateful for apps. All right, I'm done for today. Thank you very much. I just want to recognize those people who made it to the second feed. Victor, hi, my brother. Chezo, Aninka, Najma, hey, Chelsea, Sebastian, thank you so much. And so many other people before my feed went out. Out here, Chelsea, Sebastian, thank you so much. And so many other people before my feed went out. Out here, I still have Glory, Kathy, Fetty, Miss Essie, Mondi. Hey, Mondi, thank you. I've seen you tagging so many people. I think 5 people a day to join these feeds. I am very grateful to you for sharing with other people. Thank you for lifting others as you climb as well. And I looked at your profile. I'm about to follow you right now. I looked at your profile and you're doing something really significant in your own field. So thank you so much for showing up live. And thank you so much for pulling other people with you. Elikira, hey. Neema, Jefter, hi again, Miss Noma. My Shemeji, Julius, Umhanda Mbuguni as well. Modesta, hi, namesake. Macy, Kat, all right. Richie, A. Lucy, Chief Mwakafuye. Thank you. I'm very grateful. And for those who are on YouTube, I know your names don't display. Thank you as well. See you tomorrow, guys, on YouTube, talking about what you absolutely cannot leave out during your job interview. But for me, until then, have a wonderful day, evening, guys. Go get what's yours. You have everything you need to thrive, everything you need to shine. Just package it. You know it. Those that know you, those that have worked with you know it. But you're about to go out into the market in a new way. It's possibly a new market, new people. They don't know you. It is on you to reintroduce yourself and to so communicate in your documents, your profile, and at the interview in such a way that leaves absolutely no doubt that you are a top candidate for consideration.